We know one of the most effective but evil ways of locking someone down is through health, basically through their own body. We can have all the smart city stuff going on, but honestly, the most effective way of keeping tabs, of tracking, of controlling, of locking somebody down is by doing it through their own body, because you can't really get out of your own body. And so that's the best way. Lock somebody in their own body, make their body their own prison type of thing. So I've talked about ARPA-H in the past. ARPA-H, or some people call it HARPA. Not HARP, the weather thing. No, ARPA-H. And I've talked about it in the past, and they just put out an announcement for their SHARE program. Not Cher the singer, but share as in sharing is caring. They just put out a thing regarding their SHARE program, which stands for Scaling Health Applications Research for Everyone. So if we take a look, this is their announcement that they put out. Scaling Health Applications Research for Everyone. Sharing is caring. Oh, it's the sharing is caring. But if we take a look at this thing, in the description, it says, this is a broad agency announcement. The Advanced Research Project Agency for Health, ARPA-H, seeks to adapt Department of Defense and other related government entities. I'm having a hard time reading that for some reason. And other related government entities' health innovations more broadly to all Americans. Just hang with me. I'll explain all this in due time. For example, pediatric and geriatric populations would benefit from many underlying innovations, but cannot use them out of the box, quote unquote. These branch projects developed for this BAA, broad agency announcement, would identify and address the unique technical challenges inherent in translating this work to include dosage, form factor, and manufacturing capacity. Proposals should demonstrate prior success and detail the specific technical work required to tailor these solutions. Just hang with me. I'll explain this, but I just want you to have an understanding of their own announcement first. ARPA-H's mission is to accelerate better health outcomes for all America. Oh, man. We got comedy tonight. This BAA, Scaling Health Applications Research for Everyone, SHARE, seeks to capitalize on and expand existing government research and development investments. Those innovations are often, but not limited to, those developed by the Department of Defense. Inside the DoD, the Defense Research Agency, Projects Agency, that's DARPA. I know ARPA-H sounded pretty close to DARPA. It's the Health Department of DARPA, and is an exemplar model for this type of information. Because as we know, DARPA is the exemplar model for accelerating better health outcomes for Americans. Oh, yeah. SHARE, again, sharing is caring, not the singer, extends health innovations or innovations from other domains that could be adapted to health to accelerate better health outcomes more broadly. In the DoD context, these innovations are developed to support a specific population, the warfighter, so it's usually developed for military. Under SHARE, these technologies would be adapted to other populations such as pediatric and geriatric or people. So that's their announcement. I wanted to read the whole thing so you got what they're putting out, and I'll explain what's going on. To put it simply, ARPA-H, who is the health arm of DARPA, is looking to take DARPA technology that is built for military soldiers and apply it and bring it to all of American citizens. And yes, that's as scary as it sounds. Again, if you don't know ARPA-H, they are the DARPA for health. And here's just a small introduction of ARPA-H. Doesn't that sound wonderful? Talking about printing new organs and creating pills that have nanobots in them that will be released and do surgery inside the body. And as we know, this is kind of a double confirmation on that, because they're working on a material, a liquid robotic material that will go into the body and construct itself within you to perform surgery. So they call it non-invasive surgery. So they are working on this type of technology, and this is stuff that DARPA is working on, or ARPA-H is working on. Now, to kind of go through this, what the SHARE program is, every time I say SHARE, I just think of the singer. It's not the singer. Okay, what the SHARE program does is to connect DARPA technology designed for the military and make it broadly available for civilian use. Obviously, we know there's a much more diabolical plan here. Anytime DARPA is involved with anything, anytime government organizations like that are involved with anything, it's always bad news. There's always an agenda behind what they're doing. DARPA is just not a group to be trusted. Now, quick history on ARPA. Again, I've talked about them in the past, so I'm not going to go in depth, but just a quick history of ARPA-H in case you don't know them. ARPA-H really took form back in 2019. So they've always been kind of involved with DARPA before that, but this is when they became a form, an entity type of thing. So they're relatively new. But ARPA-H really took form back in 2019. It came to be through the former vice chair of GE, of General Electric, and the former president of NBC Universal, Robert Wright, who he introduced his plan for this to Trump because they were good friends. It was known as Safe Home. So this was Robert Wright's thing, and he called it Safe Home after the death of his wife. At the time, it was known as Safe Home at the time, and the paperwork would consist of medical wearables and implants that would connect to the Internet of Things and monitor the health of individuals as well as their brain activity. So what Safe Home was eventually became ARPA-H, and the idea was to create wearables like your Fitbit and your Apple Watch and everything that monitors your health. You can have it monitor your health, to create things like that would monitor health as well as brain activity. It wants to know what's going on up in your noggin. This information that it collected would be analyzed by AI and would go as far as watching for neuropsychiatric violence, ultimately creating a pre-crime watch system controlled by AI. So under the guise of monitoring your health, what they're doing is they're creating a wearable that will connect to the Internet of Things that would be ran by AI and would analyze your health and your brainwave activity to determine if you were going to commit a violent act. This was a sneaky way through utilizing it's better for your health, but in actuality, it's AI monitoring a pre-crime system. So that's what this is. So when you're talking about ARPA-H developing these little robot things, as well as printing organs and whatnot, all that stuff is there to connect to the Internet of Things, to monitor you, to monitor your body. This project was then hooked up into DARPA via the lead scientific advisor of DARPA, who was Jeffrey Ling. So this guy, basically, just to kind of put it this way, Robert Wright brought Safe Home to Trump, then Trump took it to DARPA, teamed Robert Wright up with Ling from DARPA, and then they created ARPA-H from it. So that's how that path goes. This became a part of the Department of Justice's pre-crime program that was called DEEP, which is called DEEP because it's still there, and that was headed up by none other than William Barr. He basically took the reins of creating a pre-crime system program for the United States that's still active today. And it's part of that is ARPA-H and the Safe Home project. With this in mind, remember that DARPA are the same people behind things like the internet. That's right. In case you guys didn't know, DARPA was the one who basically created the internet. It was formerly known as ARPANET. DARPA also created GPS systems, so the Google Maps and the Waze system and Apple Maps and everything on your phone, that was DARPA as well. They're utilizing that to keep track of you, of course, as well as AI assistants like Alexa, Cortana, and Siri. That's right. That stuff was also DARPA as well. They just feed it into the Silicon Valley companies, and they put it out there for them to use. See how all that works? They're all friends. It's all one big club. DARPA has got their slimy claws all over the place and a lot of things that you guys don't even realize.